What's going on, y'all? Dante562, man. You know, I watched, or I should say, I read an article the other day. Basically, the gist of it was Bob Arum still hasn't decided who Manny Pacquiao's next opponent is going to be. You know, and not only do I find this shit ridiculous, but I want to go back. I want to get into the actual article that I read. Because what I found even more interesting is that the guy from the website, I get, I don't remember what website it was, but the guy who wrote the article, you can tell he was putting his own little personal opinion in the matter, right? I mean, he talks about, what Bob Arum, what Arum quoted, right? And then he says something that I find very, contradicting. He says, you know, um, since many people already believe that Pacquiao beat Bradley, there's really no reason for that rematch. Now, what is intriguing is to fight the 39-year-old Juan Marquez a fourth time. Why do I find that contradicting? I find that very contradicting because Marquez can say the same thing that, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to his last fight with Pacquiao. The majority of people believe that Marquez won that fight. So couldn't Marquez say, there's no reason for me to fight Pacquiao again because I already beat him. And the majority of people believe that, I beat him. You guys see why that makes no sense? It makes absolutely no damn sense. And let me go ahead and talk directly to the Manny Pacquiao fans right now, because I hate when I address something and then you guys sit there and you ask me questions that I answered already in my video, in my post, or you respond to something that I already answered in my post, right? Let's make this clear right now. This is going straight to the Pacquiao fans or anyone who defends Pacquiao when it comes to not fighting Bradley in a rematch. Understand this, guys. Never in the history of boxing has there ever been a champion that was quote unquote robbed and got his title championship belt taken from him, and he turned down a rematch to get his belt back. It has never happened in the history of boxing. If you guys can think of one example, please send me a message and show me the fight. Tell me the name, because I will find that information. And I swear, if you could find me something like that, I will tell you, you know what, you guys are right. I guess Bradley don't need to fight Bradley. I guess Pacquiao don't need to fight Bradley anymore. But I know that you ain't going to find it. Because every single champion that has ever been quote unquote robbed, and we talking about not even robbed, some of them just was in a close fight and they weren't satisfied. They always came back to get their damn belt back. Like I said, Evander Holyfield versus Lennox Lewis, one of the biggest robberies of all time. If we go off of the logic and the theory that some of these, Pacquiao fans are using, saying, oh, it was clear that he won the fight, so there's no reason to go back and get your belt. If we use that logic, then Lennox Lewis, he didn't have to fight Pacquiao again. I'm sorry. Lennox Lewis didn't have to fight Evander Holyfield again, right? But Lennox Lewis, he knew that he could beat him. He knew that he could beat him, and he knew he had his belt. And he wanted to show everybody that he was the champion. And he was the best in his division, and he did that. Amir Khan, someone who may not be the greatest fighter, but Amir Khan, you do have to give him credit because he does fight tough competition, win or lose, right? And the greatest thing about Amir Khan is, like I said, look what happened in the Lamont Peterson situation. In the Lamont Peterson situation, Amir Khan, he loses. He goes to Lamont Peterson's hometown. It's a little bit of home cooking going on. You know, if it wasn't for the referee, realistically, Amir Khan would have either won the fight or it would have been a draw, right? Nevertheless, it was a close fight. But for the people who argue that Khan got robbed, I'm okay with that. So let's just go with that assessment. Amir Khan was robbed in that fight, right? Amir Khan immediately demands a rematch. What makes it even more impressive when it comes to Amir Khan is we find out that Lamont Peterson he tested positive, for some PEDs, right? Now, once this happens, they automatically give the belt back to Amir Khan. Amir Khan is still willing to fight Lamont Peterson down the road. They actually gave the belt back to Amir Khan before he tested positive for some, for some controversial reason. But nevertheless, Khan could have said once he got his belt back, I'm not fighting that dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he gave me a rough ass fight. But no, Khan, he had confidence in himself and he fought him. You feel me? So, I mean, this theory of the majority of people know that I beat him, so there's no reason to fight him again. It's just beyond me, man. It's the silliest shit that I've ever heard of. You guys really know how silly that sounds? That's like someone breaking in my house, and I get enough tips and evidence where I know the exact person who broke in my house. You know what I'm saying? That's like me and knowing he has all my shit in his house. He's got my he's got my CDs, my DVDs. He's got my fucking DVD player. He's got video games. He got all my shit in his house right now. Matter of fact, I can hear him playing my video games. Do you think I'm going to say, nah, you know what? There's no reason for me to go over there and beat his ass and go get my stuff back, or go over or call the police and get my shit taken back. There's no reason for me to do this because everybody in the world already knows that he's the one that took it. Right? What kind of shit is that? This man has my property. Tim Bradley has Manny Pacquiao's property. He has his belt. Don't send me any more messages, Pacquiao fans, saying everybody already knows that Pacquiao won, so there's no reason to have the rematch. I just explained to you guys right now. Never in the history of boxing has a fighter ever been quote unquote robbed, and he did not come back and fight an immediate rematch. Actually, it's quite the contrary. Usually, it's the fighter who gets the gift decision who doesn't want the rematch. You know what I'm saying? Usually that's how it goes. Usually the person who gets the gift decision, he runs off with the belt and he's like, man, boy, I got away. I got a lucky one. You know what I'm saying? He goes off, tries to make money elsewhere. That's usually how it goes. And it's not always just a controversial decision. Sometimes it's a lucky punch knockout. You take Lennox Lewis versus Hasim Rahman. Hasim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis in South Africa with a one-punch knockout. Lennox Lewis was clearly a much better fighter than Hasim Rahman. But Hasim caught him with a lucky $1 million punch. It knocked Lennox Lewis out. Who was the one that was avoiding the rematch? It was Hasim Rahman that was avoiding the rematch. Man, Hasim Rahman knew that Lennox Lewis was hard to beat. And he knew he was going to have a hell of an uphill battle winning a rematch. So do you guys know that Lennox Lewis had to damn near sue Hasim Rahman to get that rematch? Because Rahman was trying to, which is smart, Rahman, he was trying to turn that, because he had a rematch clause. You know what I'm saying? And he was trying to break that rematch clause. He was trying to go out and defend the title a couple times, make some extra money. Lennox Lewis was like, oh, hell no. You about to give me my damn belt back. You feel me? And that's exactly what Lennox Lewis did. 6 months later, he snatched that damn belt back. You feel me? So, don't give me that anymore. You are a champion. Somebody took your property. You go and you get your damn property back. You don't sit in your house while somebody bumping your damn music in their damn living room and you just sitting there bobbing your head like, oh, there go my CDs again. Boy, they sound good next door, don't they? That's ridiculous. Okay? It's ridiculous. Now let me go back to this Bob Arum Manny Pacquiao situation, right? See, this is why this makes no damn sense. See, if you guys remember, let's go back to right after the Pacquiao Bradley fight, right? They're getting interviewed. Both Pacquiao and Bradley are getting interviewed, right? They asked Bradley, "You want to matter of fact, they didn't even ask Bradley for a rematch. Bradley said, "Let's do it again. Let me clear my name. This is the only way we're gonna fix this. Let's have a rematch." They asked Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao says the same thing. Yeah, I want a rematch, right? So after they get out of the ring, weeks and weeks go by. There's no talk of a rematch. There's no talk of a rematch. Mind you, like I said, when Lennox Lewis had his controversial draw to Holyfield, the rematch was in order immediately. Okay? When Amir Khan had his controversial loss, the rematch was talked about and negotiated immediately. Let's go back to Pacquiao's situation. Weeks and weeks go on. After the fight, there is no talks about a rematch. No talks about a rematch, right? Then all of a sudden, about I think 3 weeks later, Pacquiao makes a comment saying, "I want my belt back. I'm gonna get my belt back from all my Filipino fans. I'm gonna take the rematch and I'm gonna get my belt back from Bradley." This is what Pacquiao, was quoted of saying, right? Okay. So then another 2-3 weeks go on. Then all of a sudden, there's articles that Bob Arum and Manny Pacquiao are supposed to meet up and talk about his next opponent, right? Then you hear something completely opposite of what we heard weeks before that. Now, the quote is Manny Pacquiao is telling Bob Arum he does not want the rematch with Bradley. Instead, he wants to fight with Floyd Mayweather, right? While, of course, Floyd is in jail. So Bob is explaining that to him. Look, Pacquiao, there's no way we're going to be able to make a fight at that magnitude. We need time to market it. We need time to promote it. There's no way we're going to be able to promote a fight like that by November if, Floyd is being released in August or whatever it was that he was released, right? So saying that, now that's the last thing we heard, right? Okay, now you fast forward to around now. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm skipping an article. Then there was another article about a week or 2 weeks, after that. Then now once again, I'm hearing them saying Manny Pacquiao wants Bradley, right? And then Bob Arum, this is what Bob says. He says, whatever Manny Pacquiao wants, we're going to make it happen. If it's whatever Manny Pacquiao wants, why in the hell didn't the negotiations start for the rematch right then and there? I mean, hell, that was 3 weeks ago when Bob Arum said that, right? Now we fast forward to today. At least a day or 2 days ago, now Bob Arum still hasn't decided what he wants next for Manny Pacquiao. Can you guys ever recall a time in Manny Pacquiao's career where they were so indecisive on coming up with an opponent for their next bout? It has never happened before. If you guys look at Manny Pacquiao's career, he always had an opponent lined up. Before he even beat his next opponent, he had another opponent set for the next fight. It has always been this way. You know what I'm saying? They knew that they were going to fight Cotto for a long time. They knew that they were going to fight Margarito for a long time. Clottey, all of these fighters. Bob and Manny, they knew. Okay? Bob and Manny, they knew who their opponent was going to be. You know why they knew? Because they knew, or at least they felt damn near 99% sure that they would beat that opponent, right? Now, if you guys go back to my update Manny Pacquiao versus Mayweather or something like that video I did, you'll recall I said in that video that the reason why that Manny Pacquiao, he is in a tough situation. Okay? He's in a bad situation right now because Manny Pacquiao, he's never been in a position where it's damn near do or die. Right now it's do or die for Manny Pacquiao. You got two opponents that damn near beat Manny Pacquiao. No matter how you look at it, you got two opponents that beat Manny Pacquiao. Okay? Marquez beat him, Tim Bradley beat him. He is thinking about fighting one of these fighters. What I mean, and let's be honest, both of these fighters have a chance, a very good chance, of beating Manny Pacquiao. This is why Bob is so indecisive. I'm going to tell you guys, Bob Arum may be a snake. He may be a crook. He may be the new Don King, if not worse now. But I'm going to tell you one thing about Bob Arum. This man knows about boxing. Bob Arum, he knows about boxing. I've been telling people this for a while. Bob Arum knows more about boxing than Freddie Roach. Only thing Freddie Roach got on Bob Arum is he knows how to use the damn mitts. Bob Arum knows more about boxing than Freddie Roach does. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, when I have people arguing me left and right at the gym, telling me that that third bout, between Pacquiao and Marquez, everybody telling me Pacquiao's gonna destroy Marquez. It ain't gonna go no more than 3 rounds, and they're only saying that because they're looking at what Floyd Mayweather did to Marquez, right? And they're assuming whatever Floyd Mayweather could do, Mayweather would do, Pacquiao is gonna do better. But I'm trying to explain to them styles make fights, right? And this is going to be the same type of fight the last two ones were. This is what I told them, right? Freddie Roach, with his dumb ass, he talking about the fight is going to go like 3-4 rounds. Alex Ariza, the fight is going to go 3 to 6 rounds. Everybody in the camp, right? Bob Arum was the only one who said this fight ain't going to be no blowout. It's going to be just as close as the other fights, right? Bob Arum, he knows boxing. Right? Bob Arum also said that everybody talking about what's next for Pacquiao before the Bradley fight because everyone expected that Pacquiao would just run over Bradley, which I don't know why they would be dumb enough to think that, but that's because the majority of people are casual fans and not real boxing fans. But when they were talking about when they were looking right past Bradley. Once again, Bob Arum said, I'm telling you guys, Bradley is a tough opponent. He is a very difficult opponent, and Pacquiao might not even beat him, right? Now you got Bob Arum telling the truth once again. If you guys just seen the he's on YouTube doing an interview in the Philippines where he's telling them, and he telling the Filipinos this. He telling them that Donaire ain't gonna beat no Rigondo. He ain't gonna beat no Gamboa. The majority of those fighters are better than him. This is what Bob Arum is saying. So Bob knows boxing. Why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing this up because this is the reason why Bob does not want to make a decision. This is why Bob is in a tough decision because Bob, he knows that Bradley has a good chance of beating him. He knows if Bradley was fighting the way he was on injured ankles and Bradley was out boxing Manny Pacquiao in the championship rounds, a man that is known for his tremendous stamina, a man that is known for energy. And here Bradley is showing he has more energy than Pacquiao. Bob is looking at all of this, guys. Bob is looking at all this. And Bob is saying, what the hell am I going to do? I'm about to lose my cash cow if I put the wrong chip on this damn blackjack table. Because it's a gamble, guys. It's a gamble. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I bet Bob Arum is like, who's better? Who would be a better fighter? Who would be a better person to have Pacquiao lose to? You feel me? But see, I think when it comes to Bradley, and I hate to say this, But I truly believe this shit. When I hear people say, there's no reason for him to fight Bradley again, but he should fight Marquez again a fourth time, right? When I hear people say this, I truly believe a lot of people, unfortunately, some out there, and I'm not saying everybody, but you have some people out there who, in a way, they don't want to see a black person beat Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? They're saying, please don't let it be a black person. If it's going to be anybody that beats Manny Pacquiao, at least let it be a Mexican or somebody, just not a black guy. You know what I'm saying? This is not how everyone thinks, guys. But I'm telling you, there is a percentage of people out there who think this way. You would be a damn fool if you think racism doesn't exist. I mean, YouTube is a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? YouTube is exhibit A when it comes to proof. All you got to do is read the comments on all of these videos, and you know the racism is loud and clear and present, right? Like I said, any video that you guys watch that has anything to do with a black person, and it never has anything to do with race, you read the comments, you're gonna hear some of the most heinous, racist race card playing that I've ever seen in my life. Literally. Literally, I watched a video about 6 months ago. It was about a baby. It was about a young ass baby that could talk, right? You know how babies, they say mama, daddy, or whatever, right? Well, it was this cute little baby. It was a black baby with blue eyes, a real cute baby, right? And everybody's, oh, this is so cute. This is so cute. You scroll down a little bit longer, there it goes. Oh, this nigga baby, this, that, all this shit, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Race card, race card, race card. All of these comments, right? So, before I go any further and get off the subject, this is what I believe. A lot of people, they don't want to see a black person beat the hero. It goes all the way back from day one till today. History repeats itself. Okay, even when Manny Pacquiao, or Bob Arum, I should say, decided that Bradley was going to be the next opponent, you still had people saying, oh, this is bullshit. Why is he fighting Bradley? People were pissed off that he was fighting an undefeated, unified, young champion. But yet they were saying he should fight Cotto again in a rematch. Oh, he should fight Marquez a fourth time. This Bradley fight is ridiculous. This is BS. I'm not going to pay for this crap. He's going to knock this guy in the first round. I don't want to see that. Why were people looking at things this way? Why were people looking at things this way? Right? And we know why people were looking at it this way. Because it is the crazy ass world that we live in. Right? So anyway, man, like I said, Manny Pacquiao, if you are a true champion, you need to get your damn property back. Okay? Get your damn property back. You know? And for Bradley getting death threats and all of this shit, let me explain something to you guys. Once again, let me give you one more statistic. Never in the history of boxing has a fighter who got a quote unquote gift decision ever got death threats at home. Bradley is the first fighter to go home and get death threats because he got a quote unquote gift decision. If you guys feel this man got such a gift decision and all this shit like that, you guys should be applauding the fact that this man wants to clear his name. This man is willing to gamble. This man, he knows that he can go in there and possibly either get knocked out, and then it's confirmed that it was always a robbery. And then he knows, on the other hand, he can go in there and clear his name and say, see guys, I told you I was the best. I told you all I wanted you to do is give me a chance. You guys, if you guys think this man got a gift decision, then you guys should be applauding the fact that Bradley wants to clear his name. That Bradley wants to show people, you know what I'm saying, that he deserves that belt. Regardless if he loses or he wins, he's willing to get in the ring and show people what he's made of, for better or worse. You feel me? So this is some bullshit as usual. Bob Arum knows boxing. Bob Arum is got a headache right now because he's trying to figure out how he gonna play this deck of cards that he got right now. Okay? So we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Like I told you before, I would be very surprised if Pacquiao fights Bradley. I truly believe deep down in Manny Pacquiao's heart, he feels that Bradley is a tougher opponent than Marquez. And therefore, I believe, I mean, he has to think that. Because like I said, someone takes your belt and you don't want your belt back, that speaks volumes. Because we know right now, if Marquez took his belt in a controversial decision, we know that he would have fought Marquez right away. Like I told you guys before, the difference between Marquez and Bradley is Marquez is a very talented counterpuncher, right? But Marquez, he focuses solely on counterpunching. He doesn't really lead that much. He's mainly on his back foot, right? See, Bradley, he can fight on his back foot. He can counterpunch, but he can also come in. And he's a very impressive body puncher. You know what I mean? And we don't really know, but that might be the reason why Pacquiao slowed down so much in the championship rounds, because Bradley was landing a lot of impressive body shots in those final rounds, right? So this is the difference between them, and I think Roach knows this, Bob Arum knows this, and Manny Pacquiao knows this. So Manny will probably fight Marquez again, or he might not even fight either one of them and just try to wait it out and try to fight Mayweather just to play it on a super duper safe side. You feel me? So that's really all I gotta say. I just had to get this off my chest, and I'll catch up with you guys on the next one. I'm on to the next one.